Dude,
Bro, I literally have tears in my eyes.
I wish I could bring that for you to put on.
No!
I'm gonna put it on my show, definitely.
Yeah, go to his channel, because I never will. Alright, Luther, we're here. You said we would be doing this in the hotel?
I did.
Not whose hotel. We're in someone else's room, and we kind of have an audience.
That's the way to do it.
Mark, thanks for coming. I'm a big baby.
Who's the host? Who's the host here?
Well, I mean, technically,
Oh, it's Big Man.
the man on the bed is the host. But
That's right.
I am literally afraid of everything, and I did not want you to read this scary story to me by myself. So I invited you to someone else's room because if anything weird happens, I can leave. But I do want to make this a little bit more theatrical. You have a show on YouTube.
I do.
And it comes out on the 1st and the 15th, correct?
Correct.
I did my research. And you read very scary stories that fans send in to you.
So what my show is we start off the show and I have 2 stories from, I've had Chris Jericho, Don Callis, and many other
Canadian legends like myself?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly like you.
Yeah, okay.
Just a bunch of Canadian goats on the show.
Nice.
And they'll tell stories. So if any famous people or any of my friends have stories, I film them telling their own story.
Okay.
And then we have Luther's letters.
Okay, so you're willing to donate one of your letters to my show?
I'm gonna read a letter on your show.
Cool. Can we make it a little theatrical and have you sit in the chair and we sit around and listen, and then we can put a light under your chin like my dad used to tell me ghost stories, and we'll shut all the lights off and it'll be cool?
And what's the name of the channel?
My channel is Luther's World of Cryptids, Ghosts, and the Unexplained.
I love cryptids.
What? What did you mean?
You're not aware of cryptozoology?
No.
The study of hidden animals?
No.
It's like Bigfoot.
It's pseudoscience.
It's Loch Ness Monster.
Chupacabra.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get in the mood.
Somebody. Whoops.
All right, take 2.
Story time. Very, very scary. All right, so this one actually comes from Canada.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay.
this is for you.
Ew.
Enough with Canada.
Dude. Dear Doctor, I'm a big fan. So, I'm a security guard at a children's hospital up here in Canada.
This is already
And this place is about as haunted as it gets. Built in the 1890s, there are certain parts of the building, even the cleaning staff won't go in alone. One is the area around the morgue, for obvious reasons.
Why is there a morgue at a children's home?
Because children die. Unfortunately, sorry.
Why are you laughing, Mark?
This isn't going the way I hoped.
I'm laughing at his face when he realized we weren't talking about a school, we were talking about a hospital. Why is there a morgue in a children's school?
I'm an idiot! Leave me alone!
All right.
Okay, back in.
Back in, very, very scary. All right, where are we back? Oh, by the way, Lau, we're not laughing at your story, we're laughing at other stuff here.
Yeah, me. I'm an idiot.
There is a small room attached to the morgue called the Quiet Room. This sounds like a movie already.
Yeah.
It does.
Where families go to grieve and receive help when the unfortunate worst happens. A few months ago, at about 3 in the morning, my colleague and I were doing patrols when we found the quiet room unlocked, the door open, about a foot and all the lights on. Chairs pulled up to the tables, and there was a tissue box set up as if the staff were expecting a family meeting to take place. Thing is, the morgue was empty. There was no family meetings there, and none had taken place in there for days, according to the records. And the only people in the building that late at night who had keys to the room were myself and my supervisor. We checked the cameras thinking it was housekeeping, and 20 minutes before found the door and started investigating. Between 2:30 and 3 a.m., the door slowly opened about a foot, and you could see through the cracks the light switch on as if someone had been inside all night. and no one ever left. Creepiest feeling in the world to watch the door open on the screen. That room always gave me the creeps, but it's way worse now. Thanks for the entertainment every week, and hope you're all safe down there. Best wishes, Lyle. So they saw on camera this door open and like lights just turn on in a room
Hold
in the
on a
morgue
sec.
that no one has keys to. They're the only ones.
They
that
gotta have a tape. There has to be.
Yeah, there is one. I actually have a. This is not mine, but I just got a. Someone just emailed me one for the show, a tape, and they're in a hospital. I think it is. They're working in, and you can see the security camera, something like black, just go across the wall, turn down the hallway, and come back. I just got it upstairs.
Julian's so scared.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, I literally have tears in my eyes.
I wish I could bring that for you to put on.
No.
I'm gonna put it on my show, definitely.
Yeah, go to his channel because I never will.
my
I can't deal with this stuff.
I'm gonna hack into your vlog and put that video on.
I
there.
can't deal with this stuff. You read this stuff for fun?
Yeah.
I have tears in my eyes.
So that was the Children's Hospital in Canada. I got a couple more if you want me to look through.
Well,
I
we'll
have
do
one-
more. We'll do more
I have
for
a
your
super
channel.
freaky one from the UK that is like crazy.
You want to do
Read
that
that
on your
one.
channel?
I should find it. I'll do it on yours. I'll do one on yours.
Okay.
All right, I just want
This one we'll do with the lights on, but it's a super weird story. It's like actually weirded me out.
Okay.
I need to turn this light off though. This was around late November 1997. I'm a bit of a singer in my spare time, and due to this, my name was passed on by a friend of mine who was writing a play for an amateur group and was looking for a lead who could sing. I spoke to the guy called Mark over the phone, and we agreed to meet in a cafe on Bold Street in Liverpool City Centre that Friday with the rest of the cast. The cafe is still there today, but is a very hipster now and trendy. However, back then it was a much simpler and more authentic. The owners were very liberal, and you would often find homeless people just having a break from the cold, and they give them free cups of tea and things like that. Anyways, I arrived around 8 p.m. and found the group sat around one of the tables. The cafe was set up with a long booth which had 4 or 5 tables pulled up to it and chairs on the other side. So you either sat on the long bench thing or facing the bench in a chair. I could tell from Mark's face that I wasn't what he pictured. I've been there. And it transpired the part was for an ex-army guy with a deep voice over the phone and had not portrayed the 9-stone wet through student with John Lennon glasses and a mop haircut that I actually was. How big is 9 stone?
9 stone. Pretty heavy, I think.
I think that's light.
Is it?
Yeah, I think he's saying he's like.
He's like
skinny.
small and they wanted like a big burly army guy.
I'll Google
Sorry, I don't know what a stone is.
Mark introduces me to the group and makes space for me to sit down on the bench, so I had the bulk of the group to my right and one guy on my left. Mark goes on to introduce each person and what they do, so like, this is Sarah, she's the female lead. This is Andy, he plays your friend. Then he gestures to the guy on my right and says, and Steve does the music. We go through everything to do with the play and start getting to know each other, having a bit of a laugh, all except Steve, who just sits quiet. Fine, I thought, some people are just quiet. Anyway, as I do when I'm in new company, I start the topic of ghosts and ghost stories off. Once again, I've been there.
Yeah, hey, nice to meet you. My name's Steve. Have you ever seen a ghost?
I've done that.
I wouldn't think that's so weird.
That's probably how we met.
Exactly.
Hey, you're huge. You ever see a ghost?
I don't believe in ghosts.
I think that's how it went.
We all share some great tales, except Steve, of course, who just sips his tea. It gets to be about 10 p.m. and we all pile outside and start saying our goodbyes. From the whole group, it's only me who is getting the train from Lime Street, with the rest going to a place called Kirkby via the Central Station. So they walk one way down Bold Street, and I stand outside the cafe and light a cig, debating the best way for me to get to the station. Steve then comes out of the cafe and says, "Sorry, Kev, but did you say you were from Highton?" I said yes, and he said he was too and offered me a lift. This was a no-brainer given it was a 20-minute walk to the station and a 30-minute walk from the other side, so I jumped at the offer, got in, and we set off. Famous last words. Although I guess it's not last words. Anyways.
I'm already scared and nothing's happened.
Well, I'm guessing he survived if he lived to tell the tale.
Or did he?
Alright, now I'm intrigued.
So you seem really into all this supernatural stuff, Steve said. I said, yeah, I've been since a kid, really. And he started rubbing his mouth, like debating something. Then he says, I really want to tell you something. Supernatural. But no, I can't. And shakes his head.
What the hell?
I'd be getting creeped out right now,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
He's like,
Yeah, I need to tell you
I need
something.
to tell you something. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve.
So, I'm obviously really keen to hear the story. If it's so terrifying, he's unsure whether he should tell me. I kind of would be too. I'd want to hear it. Yeah. So I'm smiling and like, oh, you can't leave it like that, mate. He doesn't smile back. Just keeps his eyes on the road. And somewhere in my body, a little alarm starts ringing faintly, but I know it's there. Okay, but you can't tell a soul. Seriously. I won't, I said, the little alarm getting louder now.
Yeah, because he knew he was going to email it to you at the end of the night.
Listen, I'll tell you. Just, I don't want you to pass over. I don't want this to pass over to you. So if anything happens, I'm not to blame, right? Well, the alarm now was deafening. He hadn't even started, and I was already terrified. I nod and I say, yeah, of course. And he begins.
Oh my god. Look, I have goosebumps on my thighs. Look at the goose pimples.
It started when I took my wife and kid to Glastonbury.
Oh god.
The guy.
Not the festival. We went down in late October. We went to a field by the Tor. In brackets, a Tor is a big hill with a small turret on top, which is hundreds of years old. And the kids were playing with a kite whilst me and the wife got the deck chairs out. Anyway, I got a video camera out and I started filming the kids when I noticed what looked like figures in white moving around the Tor. I turned the camera that way and zoomed in and could make out men and women all in white robes walking in a circle. I filmed them for about a minute when they stopped dead, and one of them spun around and stared straight at me. I quickly pointed the camera back at the kids, and about 5 minutes later chanced a glance back, but they were gone. That's creepy right there.
Wow.
My eyes always water when I
Yeah,
get
me too.
scared.
Me too.
So I'm crying.
I got a little bit goosey when I was reading about the people, like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
and
that
the
freaked me
turn.
out. If I just sat there and like 100 yards away, there's just people walking in a circle. We'd be like, kids, leave your kite on the ground, we're out of here.
Yes.
This is nuts. I'm getting a little turned on. What's going
Oh
on?
my god.
So anyway, back to the story. I say something like, how weird. I would say, how weird. And he carries on, seemingly more intensely, his eyes widening. So we carry on with the holiday, all fine. We get home and there's a handwritten note been posted through the letterbox, and it just says, you interrupted something you shouldn't have. So I'm like, now that'd be terrifying.
Yep.
Terrifying. It freaked the wife out. Well, no, it freaked the wife out, but we didn't link it to anything and assumed someone had either been messing with us or it was the wrong address. Okay, you just filmed a whole bunch of people walking in circling rows, and then you get home and you find this. That was no accident. Next day, an envelope arrives with nothing in it. It just has dead insects in it. Again, we couldn't make heads nor tail of it.
Okay, this guy's an idiot. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry, dude. You're dumb. You are so dumb.
At this point, I'm moving.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you really insulted him.
Oh, They don't even live there. They can leave at any time. They can leave at any time. I would have left when the guy turned and looked at the camera, and I would have been uploading it on YouTube saying "Rest in peace" to me.
Oh yeah. Done.
Okay, all right.
We're done. We're out of here. Then I think of the figures we'd seen. He starts shaking his head. Mate, you're not gonna believe this. I put the videotape in the video player and I pressed play. There's the kids. There's the kids with the kite. There's the wife. Then you see me zooming in on the figures. Then the figures all stop as I remember. Then one turns around and looks at me. But then the video flips to black and white. The image is upside down and on the screen is me pointing the camera back at them. It's like they'd started filming me from the tour. That's about 3 seconds, then the tape stops. Mate, at this point, I freak out.
Holy sh!
It's crazy. Now,
I'm
This
so
is-
glad the lights are on right now.
dude. Now, as he's telling me this story,
No!
I was so about to
hate-
get in his face right there.
I hate you guys. Okay, keep going.
This is like a sleepover.
It is.
I'm
Oh,
literally
what
sleeping.
else?
I'm sleeping in Beef's room.
Yeah, someone's staying in my room too. All right, let's go.
Okay, now they're still driving in this car, still telling the story in the car. Now he's telling me the story, he's getting more and more animated to the point I'm both scared of the story and starting to feel the same about him. Then it got horrible, he goes on. The house phone would ring at like 3 a.m. No one there. And when you'd call 1471, I guess, to get the last caller's number, it would say the last call was like 4 p.m. So the phone would ring and no one would be there, and then it would say that there was no calls, which is crazy. The kids started saying there were people watching them sleep. My wife was locked.
Hard turn there.
Oh yeah, hard.
Phone rings. No one there. Also, people watching my kids sleep. What? What?
That was
What?
That was like burying the lead.
Yeah.
Like that should have been.
Yeah.
Like, but
Okay,
yeah.
let's keep going.
So the kids started saying there was people watching them sleep. My wife was locked in the bathroom, but there's no lock on the door. Something was just holding the door shut. He's getting so animated. I was generally trying to sneak a look at if my door was locked, like he was being held on, or just how could I make a run for it if needed. Now it started getting personal, he said. Like, you're already getting letters in the mail. That's already way past personal.
People are watching your children sleep.
Yeah, it's already personal. It's already personal. Now it's starting to get personal, he said. Stupid things like being the initials of someone you hate. I guess they're changing his registration into like people he doesn't like. He's getting his stuff changed somehow. You know, like to wind you up. Now, as much as his whole story seems spooky and paranormal, I thought this comment a little far-fetched and bordering on delusional paranoia. As I thought about that, his face changed and he said in a low voice, "Please don't think I'm paranoid." So this guy's thinking, oh, now I think he's just paranoid. And then all of a sudden the guy said, "Don't think I'm paranoid." Like, he read his mind. That would freak me out. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. That would freak me out. I answered, "I don't, mate."
I don't.
"It's all terrifying," I said. He was quiet for a few minutes. That's probably even worse when they get super quiet right after.
Because then they're in their own head. What
Yeah.
are they thinking? What are they planning?
And I just wanted to get home now. I'd had enough. We got close enough that I decided I could walk the rest. And no way did I want him knowing where I lived. Good call. So I asked him to pull over, which he did. He turned the engine off and turned to me. Last thing that happened last week. A thin white light shone from the landing in my room. I just watched it go slowly up the wall. Then click, it went off. As soon as it did, the kids screamed from their separate rooms. "Jesus," I said, hand on the door handle. He welled up, rubbing his eyes, let out a big sigh and said, "Sorry to unload on you." Mate, if anything does happen, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe see a priest. He morbidly chuckled, as did I. Thanks, mate. See you soon, I said, and got out of the car. He beeped and drove off, and I ran home more scared than I had been in my life. The next day, Mark, the playwright, called to say he didn't think I was right for the part, which I agreed with. I then said, tell you what, that Steve's intense, ain't he? Eh? Said Mark. Steve, who does the music, I said. What about him? Said Mark. Well, he gave me a lift home last night, I said. Steve wasn't there last night, Mark said. I went on to describe him and where he sat relative to us. You even gestured to him and said he does the music, I said. Mate, that guy was there when we got there. He was on his own, nothing to do with us. Didn't realize I gestured to him. I was just meant Steve does the music. I was gobsmacked. It's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me, and always wondered who this was and what ever became of him.
Holy
Guy, he was just in that bar. Like he was just some guy that was in there that he thought was part of the thing.
Huh.
That's like a super crazy story, isn't it?
How the hell did he go from we were getting random mail and then they were watching my kids sleep?
Well, the kids are saying like we're feeling like someone's watching them, so
Yeah.
it's not like
No, they didn't say feeling. They said people are watching us sleep.
No, but I mean, if there was literally people in there, they'd be arrested.
But what about filming these people walking in a circle in robes and then like
The camera
next
ends up
day
filming them.
filmed the videotape was totally reversed. It was them getting filmed, which is creepy, and then getting them knowing where you live and like you're getting mail with insects and things. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Very great story though.
Super creepy. I have a story I've never shared on my show. I'll share it here. I have a ghost story I saw. Or a ghost I saw. So this story happened to me. I haven't even said it on my show, which I'm going to, but I'm going to debut it right here.
Okay.
So I lived in an apartment building for a couple years, but it used to be, back in the day, it was an old folks home,
Okay.
right? And then like I don't know, 8 years ago, it became like a regular apartment building type thing or whatever. So it's non-smoking, the whole place, and it's like concrete. It's like everything's concrete, and it's Canada. So in the winter, like there's no windows. We don't open our windows,
Yeah.
and there's nothing going, like no AC, nothing from outside's coming, right? It's freezing cold. Where we have the TV is where everybody that's ever lived there has had the TV, because it's the only place with the plug. Right, so I'm guessing whoever lived there before always had their TV there, always had your couch, probably everybody in the same spot.
Yeah.
You know, every night at between like 2 to 4 in the morning, because I'm up late playing video games all the time.
Oh,
right?
you mean witching hour? Okay, yeah.
the witching hour 3 a.m. But I saw sometimes it'd be 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't smoke. No one in my house. My girlfriend doesn't smoke. Nothing.
The air conditioning turning on.
Just scared you. I saw you turn right away.
It knows you're afraid.
Yeah. So.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So, anyways, I'd be playing games, and all of a sudden, okay, you guys smoke cigarettes? You guys smoke?
No.
So, but you can smell cigarettes.
I know what
because
cigarette
when
smoke
you
is,
don't
yeah.
smoke, you really can smell
Oh
it.
yeah.
Both my parents smoke, so I'm very
So when
familiar
you go
with
to their
it.
house, it's like you can really
Oh yeah.
get it, right? It's like you pick it up right away. So I'd be playing video games, and all of a sudden, all I can smell is cigarettes, like strong, all around me. And I'll get up and I'll go to the kitchen or area, nothing. I'll go to the back of the living room, because my living room was really spread out, nothing, but only in that one spot in front of the TV. So then I think all the windows are shut, but I still go outside because there's a patio that runs along all the units, and I'll look and there's no one out there. So it's like freezing out there, right? So there's no one out there. I'll come back in and still nothing. I'll go sit down on the couch, and all I can smell is cigarettes again, and it'll last for like 20 or 30 minutes, and it would happen like at least 3 times, 4 times a week. So I'm thinking, you know, some past residual, like some old people probably used to sit there to watch TV, and they always get up at like super early, so that's probably the time they'd probably get up at night or in the morning, and that was their smoking time.
Holy
That's not even the story I wanted to tell.
Oh my god.
That was just the lead in.
Preface, okay.
Yeah. So how I used to have my room, so I had a bedroom and then the living room where I said, but there was this hallway that would come in, and the hallway would go into the bathroom. So my door, you'd see the hallway toward the bathroom. I had the bed set up so it was in front of the window and you could see out into the hallway. My girlfriend's on the computer and we have the TV going and she's on the computer, you know, everybody multitask, whatever. And I'm reading, so I'm sitting here reading, that's why I got this. So I'm reading something but you can still see everything, right? And I see like a guy walk into my bathroom. But I couldn't see, it wasn't like super, but I knew it was a guy. And just like right in. And right away I was like, stopped, and I'm just staring. Because I'm trying to compute, like,
What did I see?
What the hell? Like, do I get up and go? But I didn't hear my door open. My door's locked. I didn't hear it open. And it used to like kind of creak when you open it. And I was like, no, there's no. And I'm trying to like, So and then my girl says, what's wrong? And I don't want to freak her out.
Right.
So I'm like, nothing. And so I go back and I'm pretend to read again, but I'm like actually
staring
like,
out the door, yeah.
And I'm looking to see for somebody to come out of the bathroom because you have to see it. And she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, nothing. And I'm back trying to, so I glanced back down real quick, but I keep looking up the whole time. I'm like just staring at this hallway. And now I'm thinking, do I get up and go look? Like, I need to get up and go look at this. Right? Because there's no one coming out of there, but I don't hear anything in the bathroom. Like, it's just silent. But I saw a guy walk in there. And so I'm looking again, because now I'm like, and then she's like, what is wrong? Now she's starting to get, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And she goes, is it that guy that walked in the bathroom?
Oh my!
And I just dropped my book, and I was like, you saw that? And she's like, yeah. Now I got up right away, and I go and I look, and there's no one there. So she saw it, the same as I saw it, and there's nothing in there. And I was like, what the hell was that? And she goes, well, I've seen him before. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, one time, like when you went to, I used to manage a gym. So she's like, and I'd go to work at like 5 a.m. or whatever, 4:35. So she goes, one time when you went to work, I kind of woke up and you were standing at the end of the bed looking at me, and then I realized it wasn't you, and I got scared. I just put the blanket over my head, and then later on I looked back, and you were out of here. But it was out of here, out of here. Oh no! Oh, I just saw myself in the mirror, scared the
Okay, anyways.
So like she's seen this dude in there before, and I'm like, that's probably the guy that I could smell smoking in the living room.
Well, there you go.
And the reason I think this is like
obviously.
the reason I think it's real is because two of us saw it. We both saw it, and we didn't talk to each other because I didn't want to tell her what I saw because I didn't want to freak her out. But she's like, right away, and like, dude, I just about crapped my pants, and she's like, was it the guy that just walked in the, like, she totally saw the same thing but didn't want to tell me.
She was like, oh yeah, that's Dave.
Like, she was scared to say she's seen something in there before.
That is insane.
Crazy story. I've actually never even said that story on my show.
So yeah, well, go to his channel, subscribe to his channel. 15.
The 1st and the 15th.
What's your general opinion on supernatural? Like, do you think it's ghosts that have unfinished business? Do you think it's people from like different dimensions? Do you think that what's like?
I don't know. You know, I think it's maybe people they get trapped. It depends like how religious you are and your thinking with that stuff, right? Like obviously if people get trapped here and don't like go to the light, they're here.
Like purgatory?
Kinda, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's energy, but there's also, they say there's residual energy. Like if this was haunted, it's like sort of stuck there or whatever. Like, and that's why that guy that was in my apartment there, maybe he's just on a loop. He smokes at 4 a.m. and then he uses the bat, like just does the same sort of deal, or I don't know. Maybe he was never, nothing ever bad happened.
Yeah.
The only other thing that really was kind of creepy is one time I came home, all my cupboards were open, which was odd. That just scared you?
No, it scared me too. It did. I got scared too.
Well, thanks for scaring the living and ruining my sleep tonight.
It's okay, Mark.
I'm sleeping with beef.
That's cool.
Cake.
Ego, me and my ego. He said I'm the man, better than you people. Forever he my hero, never be an equal. If you don't believe me, you can ask my ego. Ego, me and my ego. I'm here. Put me in your magazine, man of the year. You know I'm more than worthy of your little cover story. When I was a kid, my ego used to cover for me. Way back when, even now as men, we go and hit the town just to watch the bags bend. Me and my ego, two-seater black Benz. Oh, you have friends?